And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I really need to get a white lab coat so I can be more evil scientist. What's he building in there? What's he building in there is the third game from Buckshot Games. Their first two games were okay games. Banditos actually wasn't that good of a game. So I didn't know what to expect from the third one. I love the theme of it, about a mad scientist inventing inventions, but I've been fooled on these before, and the mad scientist theme, I want a game about it that's good so very much. Before I get into this review, I should mention that I did do a paid preview. It doesn't affect my final thoughts. Look at other paid previews I've done. In a second, I'm going to show you how to play the game and then tell you what I think of this worker placement mad scientist game. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to get their thing they're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to do the IQ-reducing Idiofire, or the Death Ray, or the Insano Gas, or the Neuterizing Bomb. So what you'll do is you will get one of these randomly given to you, and you will also get an escape plan. How are you going to escape? In a speedboat, hovercraft, dirigible, truck, rocket, car boat, or submarine. And I feel bad for the guy with the truck. Not nearly as cool as the car boat. But anyhow, you'll get two of these randomly, and then they fit together basically to form a shield. Now, what players are trying to do over the course of this game is to build their escape plan. You must get at least stage 1 for each of these done, or you automatically lose, but you can go all the way up to stage 3. For each stage, there are certain things. There are certain resources that you will need. Then there are certain inventions you'll need. You'll see the number of invention goes up from 1, 2 to 3. You also need a certain number of genius at work points, and you need a certain number of manual labor points. And then these are the number of victory points that you will get for each one. So you can see if you finish stage 3 for both of these, that'd be 70 points. Finishing stage 1 for both will give 24 points. That's somewhat of a difference. Now, the game's going to take place over 15 turns, and you have a turn tracker right here. And each turn of the game, you're going to turn over workshops equal to the number of players. So let's say there's 4 players in the game. Then we would fill the first of these with 4 different workshops. There's a steel mill tannery, a glass maker, and another tannery. Then you'll turn over 4 black market cards that are placed here. And then one player, whoever is the start player token, is going to go first, and players are going to take turns one at a time, placing their 3 minions and their mad scientist on the board. Now, there is a myriad of places to place people, all these orange and blue circles. If a circle is blue, only a minion can be placed here. If a circle is orange, only the mad scientist can be placed there. There are a few spots, like here, where either one can be placed. So players will be taking turns placing them across the board, and then once they're all placed, we will start here with number 1, which is the steel mill, and resolve each of these. Now, at each of these places, it's always the same thing. Whoever is first will decide whether they are either going to take resources, and if you put a henchman there, you get 2. If you put the mad doctor, you get 3. Or they can convert these basic resources into a refined resource. There is a difference many times. You can see that the refined resource has a round icon. So we have iron, and then we have steel, and we have refined steel. The cards for these resources are over here, and I really wish they had made them easier to tell apart. You can see their refined steel is in a circle and raw steel, but at a glance they're more difficult. I would have preferred maybe a different color border or something, but still, whatever the first person at this decides to do, everyone else must do the same thing. So if red says he wants to refine steel and the blue had wanted to take steel, well, he's out of luck. And so that will happen for each of the workshops. At the black market, there's always these top spots, which will give money, 5, 3 in a 5 to 6 player game, and then 2 in the first player token to go first next round, and then these other ones, which will often allow you to do different things. For example, here I can pay a coin and trade any basic resource for any other basic resource. Or down here, this one just gives me 4 gold. I can sell any 2 basic resources for 4 or 1 refined resource for 5. If you put your workers over here on the Genius at Work track, whoever puts it on the first one gets 3 Genius at Work, and these are just measured there. This is how you keep track. There's a spot for if all 6 players are playing to put their cubes there. This space here, it says X. Any number of people can go there, but only the first person gets 3. Everyone else gets 2. Same thing down here in the manual labor. The first or second in a 5 to 6 player game will get 2 manual labor points, and then everybody else, if they want to go there, for each minion they send there, will get 1. Of course, we want to have a well-rounded mad scientist, so you can also place people here in the social track where you have to start here and you pay money, and you'll slowly move across there, starting with manners, tutor, then over to piano lessons, and then buy a house, real estate. You pay the price and you move across, and at the end of the game, however far you are in each of these tracks will give you victory points. There's 3 tracks. The top is the social track, the next one is the security track, and then the exotic pets track. You'll notice that there's some brown, different colored spots here. That's because you need to build this real estate. If you don't, by turn 5, if you don't have a house, you need to pay 1 coin at the end of each turn as rent. And you can't build secure fences or ostriches, anything farther on these tracks unless you have a house. Obviously, you won't build secure fences and get guard dogs for a place that you're renting. You need to own your own property. Once all these are done, each scientist has the opportunity to build one of the inventions at the top. Now, there's different kinds of inventions. Over here, these are inventions that are worth 5 victory points and give you a special ability, but they're not useful other than that. But I don't mean not useful, but they're not critical to winning the game. These are the inventions that you need. So, for example, let's say I need an electron activator to build my getaway vehicle. And so you can see there that I need 1 steel, I need 1 refined copper, 1 wood, and I need to spend 4 Genius at Work points. Once I do that, I will take this card and place it in front of me. It's worth 5 victory points at the end of the game. Now it says sell equals 5. That's because once one person has taken this, other people after that do not need to spend their Genius at Work points. Instead, they have to pay 5 coins to whoever is the first person. That person's the inventor. I no longer need to figure out how the electron activator works. You did it for me, so I'll steal it from you, but they pay money. And so the first person will get points for doing all these inventions, but they have to spend their very precious Genius at Work points, which are hard to get. So after the round is over and people have built their inventions, then we will clear these cards here, put new cards out, there's a new starting player, and we will do this for 15 rounds. At the end of 15 rounds, hopefully you've completed stage 1 of your getaway vehicle and plan. If you do so, you get the points for whatever stages you're at with those, plus any extra points you have from the different inventions you built and from where you are on the 3 tracks. Whoever has the most points is the winner. This game is excellent. Superb, wonderful, the best game Baksha has done by a mile, better than the other 2 games put together. What's he building in there is a fantastic, very tight, interesting worker placement game that works pretty well even with the full complement of 6 players, although a little longer than I want probably, so I think it's better with 4, even 5's not so bad, but very interesting things going on here. Now, I'll tell you this, I said it's tight. It's very tight. In fact, every time I played this, when I teach it to new people, I say, listen, when you start the game off, at about turn 5 or 6, you're going to look at the board and go, I'm never going to finish. I'm not going to get all my stuff done. Because you really will feel that way. But very rarely have I seen someone not finish both stages, ones of their things, because it is possible. You just got to do forward planning. So it will feel like you're constricted many times because there's a plethora of options, but you need to do as many of them as you can. But it's what you do different than the other players that will determine whether you win or not. Will you go for stage 3 of both? You can pull it off, it's possible. Or will you go for a different stage and then try to move up on those other tracks and take the bonuses that they might give you? You need to send henchmen down to get that manual labor because you need a certain number of manual labor at the end of the game. Let's say for stage 1 of my things I need 15 manual labor. combined. Well, that means I need to send a henchman there pretty much every turn because there's only 15 turns in the game. But if I get a couple henchmen there that give me +2, every time I send one to the +2 spot, that's one less turn I have to send him there. And so knowing that, so that might be the first spot I put him. But man, money is tight in this game, so I'll put him on, get some money. Oh, but if I do that, I don't get the chance to get those Genius at Work points, which are also critical to building the inventions. I really enjoy this game. Now, it is not a perfect game. There's a couple things I do not like. I don't like the extra expansions, the direct effect inventions. They are, most of them, there's one that's really good. It lets you go into the 5 money even when someone else is there. That one is by far the best, I think. But many of them allow you to negatively affect other players. Well, this game is already doing this to me. I don't like that other players can do it too. And they're usually not worth the resources that it costs to build them. I really felt bummed out. If they had much better, cooler special abilities that helped you out a lot, I think that they would be something fought over more and might even detract you from doing the things you need to do. It would give more options. And then also the forcing people to buy a house makes completely thematic sense, and it's useful, but it forces people into that one track. This game doesn't give as many options as I like. It's a little bit more narrow than I would prefer. I would prefer it to be a little bit more open-ended. But even despite that, I still thought it was really good. I still liked being able to place all over the place. I mean, there's like 20 different places to put things each turn. And you're really struggling and saying, what am I going to put where? Especially with that mad scientist piece, you can only put him one spot. And there's probably 5 places you want to put him. The theme comes through pretty strong. The inventions are cool. The artwork, I really like it. I think it adds a lot to the flavor. If you like, I mean, this is a heavy, tight Euro worker placement game that reminded me a lot, not exactly of Manhattan Project, but I mean, has that same kind of vibe that it gave me. It's one that I enjoy quite a bit. What's he building in there?
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.